Ooh, welcome to the holiday special. We back again. We missed y'all. Oh my God. And we just want to jump right in because we didn't want to waste time. Right? We're thinking about this holiday season and ending the year. How did we want to end it? So we have a few questions that we're gonna go through, and hopefully, as we go through them, you're going through them for yourself too. Question number one: how do you keep the motivation when all your yearly goals were met? Zuri, talk to me.
Hmm. Man, so I'm going to talk about how I kept the motivation over this past year. And I kept that motivation when all of my goals were met because I know what it feels like for when I'm out of alignment. And I hated that feeling. I literally hated it. It made me feel low. It made me not even really want to look in the mirror or really face myself. So, how I kept that motivation was knowing that I had the momentum, that I had exactly what I prayed for, and that I didn't want to lose it. It's really something about not wanting to lose something where you keep that motivation. Even when I didn't feel motivated, pun intended, I had to reach in my discipline bag. I had to find something technical or something, reach back to a feeling that I had when I was out of alignment, when I was working for a job that I know I wasn't meant for, when I was with a person that I know I wasn't called to be with. That feeling of just that sickness with myself, when you get sick and tired of yourself, that's
Right.
enough motivation. That's enough motivation. Even though I was hitting every goal, been promoted, had a great, event for my nonprofit, right? All those goals were met. My financial goals were met, but I still hated how I felt some years back and a year ago. So every time I thought about that, I got back up. If I wanted to lay down, if I wanted to do nothing, if I, was resting too much or if I was partying too much, I just thought back to how that felt about a year ago, right? Of how disgusted I was with myself, that I just wasn't listening and that I wasn't in alignment and that I just wasn't happy with myself. And sometimes that's all you need to not be happy with yourself to keep that motivation.
I'll jump in next because I felt that, and it speaks to what I did. I won't lie to you. I'm struggling to think of something that I met this goal, but I do have smaller goals that I knocked out. And this word motivation, I've thrown around my entire life, and I really found a good definition for it last week. This ex-military dude, Jocko Willing, he said motivation doesn't mean to give you rah rah, get you all excited. No, motivation means to provide a motive, to give you a reason why what you're doing in the first place. And what really kept me going after I met a goal was going back to my why, the motive. Why did I set the goal in the first place? And then I realized, I could have set this goal bigger.
Mm.
So what was I lacking? Like, what didn't I see that I see now? So I go back to that why. Why did I set it in the first place? And how do I make it bigger? And that's really been the game for me for everything I've knocked out. And really, now I think about it, finances are the things that I've grown the most, and also the area that I still have the most to grow in.
Mad props. Because I know that was something like it's been a theme, just personally. Like I know even when it comes to any discipline like that, like it takes first of all, it's like a lifetime of work, right? To
Exactly.
develop even mastery or even, a high level of just moving accordingly when it comes to, finances, when it comes to health, when it comes to spirituality. Like these are lifelong disciplines. So props to you, bro. Let me get you your flowers. Um,
Appreciate you.
I feel like when you get to this end of the year time, I'm a big advocate of reflection, and I feel like it's usually easier to think about like what didn't I do? What was on my to-do list, what was on my checklist that I still didn't get done. Um, and I think that's just where our minds go. But for us, I know specifically for Zuri, her and I had a conversation not too long ago. We were just talking about like, hey, coming into the end of the year, like I still feel good about. Like I don't feel like I made a plan and then it blew up at month 3, and then I just said F it. No, like I made a plan. I might have fell down, things might have not went my way, but I pivoted and I kept running. I kept running the race. Now that we're at the fourth quarter, I'm feeling pretty good. And the question about how you keep the momentum, it's a specific scenario for to even be in this kind of place. But if you are in this kind of place where it's like, yo, like I did what I needed to do this year. How do you keep that momentum through the holidays as you're getting into next year, and just what's your mindset? I think for myself, I feel like for me, there were some aspects where like I got really, really close, and then once I kind of got to like 90% of the goal, I just coasted a little bit, thought I was going to just be able to ride the rest in, and it fell apart. And that happened a couple different times throughout the year where, I was like, I had a lot of momentum. I was like making stuff happen. And I thought, okay, like this is just kind of a matter of time. I can put my eye on something else. And this is just going to go where it needs to go. And yeah, it was a tough lesson where it was like, I have to ride something all the way through. So I definitely took some losses. But at the same time, I had some victories. And so, my mindset going into the next year is how do I build on the things that I've had success in? But the things that I haven't yet, like, how do I stay determined all the way through to not let off on the gas?
And I think that's the perfect close in and out. How do we build on the successes we've had this year? So even if you met all those goals, may you realize they too small for you, and you keep cooking. We're gonna see y'all on the next holiday episode. May every pivot you have be followed by a proceed. We love y'all.
Peace.